I predicted before after Hasan came back from Cuba, there's a siege around Cuba.
Yes.
Cuba is there's an embargo going on against them from the United States, and he went there with a lot of people, and they brought help there. Like
Yes, they brought them aid, like fuel, food. They also brought money.
Yeah.
To spend there for the people. And yeah.
Because the embargo is so bad, you can't send money there.
Yes.
Just like that's the reason why they have to go there. And I expected that the usual suspects will talk shit about that, like sloptubers and far right. Sloptubers, narcas, call them what you want, lolicon enjoyers, and sometimes they're also sloptubers. But I was okay. They will criticize Hasan for he's have expensive clothes, he's rich, it's performative. Like they had nothing against him.
Yeah.
And they think, we did something bad when we criticize him. But if somebody is, even if you don't like him, if somebody is doing something good and you criticize him for that,
it's not gonna make you look good.
It will make just the other person more popular.
It will
I call it the Mamdani method. And then I didn't expect that also the mainstream media will talk about this Cuba and so on. And Fox News talked about it. Greg Gutfeld, Hasan calls him Greg Gutfeld, like call him what you want. He's short. And he made a video, like Fox News, there was a discussion. So now cringe alarm, sorry for that, but it's the realities. Boo!
I love it when you give me the clap. Good evening, everyone. So over the weekend, Ilhan Omar's daughter went to Cuba to show solidarity with the communist leadership.
Based.
That's good.
Okay.
That's a switch. Usually when her family goes to Cuba, it's Guantanamo Bay.
Boo!
It turns out that Democrats...
I love how not even on his own show the people laughed, really.
Cuba, it's Guantanamo Bay.
Because it's not a joke, that's...
It's like a couple laughs and then the rest were like, wait, what?
It was not outrageous enough.
Yeah.
It turns...
I don't think the crowd actually gets the joke, though.
Yeah.
I don't think they do.
Mega head and...
Yeah.
But please,
for anyone who doesn't understand, it's an Islamophobic joke, just painting Ilhan Omar and her family as terrorists.
Well, I didn't know.
That's all it is. Yeah. What a creative joke.
Well, I never heard.
It's out that Democratic Congresswoman AOC spent $19,000 in campaign funds last year on a psychiatrist who specializes in ketamine therapy. It wasn't for AOC, though. It was for the therapist after spending 2 hours listening to her. Yeah.
The crowd is exploding.
To reduce crowded TSA lines, President Trump is deploying ICE agents to the nation's airports. And to show you there's no hard feelings with ICE, one man has offered to help with the cavity searches.
Like Don Lemon is because of Trump, he's way more popular.
Yeah.
After he got arrested and the bullshit charges, he was on CNN. Now he's an independent journalist, and now he's one of the successful journalists in America.
Yeah.
And they talk like he's bad or something like that. I mean, he's more.
Of course, he's gonna talk like he's bad. They're opposite on the fucking media spectrum, political spectrum. But I mean, this has only been only a minute.
Yeah, but that will not
feels so long.
He said.
I know. We are suffering together.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warned, however, airport wait times, they're going to get much worse. and warning Spirit customers to plan ahead by bringing extra meth. Over the weekend, William Shatner turned 95 years old. I know, good for him, huh? In his honor, the International Space Station circled the Earth with its turn signal on. A mailman has been charged with assault and endangering the welfare of a child after being caught on video attacking a 4-year-old. I know. Typical mailman. He was supposed to assault the 4-year-old 6 weeks ago.
Kind of the cringe challenge.
That's not even the bad one. Over the weekend, former FBI Director Robert Mueller passed away at 81. His last words were, "What are you doing here, Hillary?" Oh, thank you.
And also the applause sign.
Yeah, that was literally an applause sign.
After the death of Mr. Mueller, President Trump posted, quote, "Good, I'm glad he's dead." It's part of a new line of Trump sympathy cards.
A lot of people will post the same when Trump dies.
Yes, 100%.
Like
How much of this are we gonna keep watching? I don't.
5 minutes, then
5
Hasan.
minutes?
Yeah.
Can we just skip to the 5 minutes?
We are.
Because this
Finally,
is hard
a
to
woman
watch.
claims a near-death
Yeah, we're
experience
suffering together.
left her with paranormal powers that can predict when people are going to die. "Have her call me," said one woman. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right.
You don't get your jokes.
So far-left activists went to Cuba and stayed in 5-star hotels while the rest of the country had a total blackout. Because nothing says fight the power when no one else has any. And nothing says solidarity with the oppressed like maid service and a mint on your pillow. It's their version of MTV's Spring Break, but instead of Carmen Electra, you get Greta Thunberg.
Oh.
The Cuban people are eating rationed rice in the dark, and these clowns are chowing down on $20 Snickers bars. Call it safari communism, Club Med, but red, nibbling on ceviche while real Cubans swim past sharks to get to Miami. Here's Irish rappers known as Kneecap performing before the power cut out, and fans started chanting this.
Based.
Well, if those are Irish rappers, they should change their name from Kneecap to Sucky Charms. They chant Free Palestine in a different country where people are rationing beans. That's like your buddy getting stabbed in the eye, but you put Preparation H on your ass. Of course, it's not about Cubans or anyone these activists claim to care about. It's an invite-only getaway to a decaying communism theme park on some NGO's dime. It's not even open to the public, of course, or then they would see how electricity is doled out to the few while no one else has power. And it's also...
Why are Cuba? Why they don't have electricity? Why they don't have? Because of communism or because of the embargo?
Communism, for sure.
Yeah, communism is when no electricity. Of course.
There's decades worth of sanctions from the US.
But they will make a good point, you know.
There is decades worth of sanctions.
Yeah.
There is the 5-star hotel thing is literally because the US tells you if you are a US citizen, you are not allowed to just pick any hotel you want to.
Yeah.
Or else you could get in trouble when you're back in the US.
There is a list.
Yeah, there is literally a list.
Yeah. But
could we find the list? I don't think so.
We had to search
I would not know what to search for right now.
Yeah, when we write list Cuba, I don't know what we find. But you know, the propaganda is like that. They need ignorant people, bigot people to believe it, because you can just one Google search and you can find out why there's no electricity in Cuba.
Yeah,
and Americans can read. So
literally, the US fuck the only country that was giving Cuba fuel.
Yeah.
Venezuela.
Free Maduro.
Yeah.
No,
And
no
what
war.
the fuck?
Peace only. And now we get
And
kidnapped.
this clown is here like, oh, these are such bad people. Look at them, they're so bad. Meanwhile, I sit here in my studio, paid for by fucking billionaire money,
Yeah.
and I make fun of them.
And I thought comedy is legal while he's not funny. I don't get it.
Radicals can humble brag on TikTok, while actual radicals rot in some hellhole prison for failing to salute. It's all the same: Cuba, Gaza, ICE, BLM. What unites this isn't just the power to the oppressed, it's ego, which gains size through a hate for America. Of course, they don't hate it enough to move out. Enter Code Pink, the original commie Karens, rolling in to tell the people how terrible the U.S. really is.
Here we are on our way to Cuba.
Go, Queen.
We're so excited to be with the Cuban people and show our support, show our solidarity, and to say that this cruel, inhumane, barbaric policy of the Trump administration has to go.
Of course it does, because when a country collapses under decades of central planning, the real villain is the country.
The country is collapsing under decades of sanctions.
No, he says it's central planning.
Of course.
Of course, of course.
I mean, if a country can survive, now from his point of view, they've had central planning for so long. I don't even know if Cuba actually has central planning.
They have also private businesses, but
yeah, but you know, who cares? I guess they're evil communist Cuba.
Yeah, but they have healthcare, so that means they're communist.
Of course. And like, I don't understand. Not even with their own logic, it makes sense. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of Cubans have defected to by duct taping hollowed out coconut shells to their asses to float to Florida. So while the entire island is in darkness, this commie clown car stays at the Grand Hotel Bristol. 5 stars, generators, luxury service, where the closest they come to speaking truth to power is complaining to the manager that the pool boy got cocoa butter on their Dolce & Gabbana sunglasses. Why didn't these activists invite Cubans to stay in their hotel for the night? I'm sure a few did, but only after requesting hookers in Spanish. You want a glimpse of a Yankee douchebag? Here's one.
Tourism is the lifeline.
But I thought he's a jihadist, terrorist, Dr. Jihad. Now he's a Yankee? I don't get it.
He's a Yankee douchebag.
I'm a Yankee doodle-dee.
For the Cuban economy as it stands currently. The government has very limited resources, and the American government makes it illegal for Americans to stay wherever they want when they're in Cuba. They have to stay in what they've declared as 5-star hotels. In comparison to the situation on the island, it's prosperity pretty much, and experiencing that
I was also in the chat.
dichotomy is like definitely me up. Definitely.
What was the joke?
I don't understand either.
They're showing him like, oh, he did something bad. Like, thank you, Fox News, that you report on that. Because
I mean, he's literally explaining why they have to stay in the hotel. That's all the clip is.
Yeah.
Now, nothing he said is true.
Of course. And you can just Google it, and it's the first Google result. Like, that's his argument. Nothing that he said is true. Sure,
like,
buddy.
it's not true, and that's it.
Imagine you believe that propaganda. And a lot of people believe
that. A lot
it.
of people do, yeah.
But we got to replay that last part.
Experiencing that dichotomy is like definitely me up. Definitely.
What was the...
You
Experiencing that
couldn't have
dichotomy
done
is
that better if you
fucking
scripted
me up,
it.
I believe.
I bet he has a Grey Poupon suppository up his butthole. By the way, his glasses cost $1,400.
Yeah, this is the same argument that the sloptubers brought. Like, explain that to me. You have the same glasses.
Of course, yeah. My glasses are that expensive.
Yeah, I mean, it looks alike. But what if you had $20 glasses?
Doesn't make it.
Then the people in Cuba would have electricity, food. That
Yeah,
no
of course
sections.
they did.
Like
because
I don't
it's-
get that logic. It's like, oh, you're a socialist, but you're rich.
Yeah.
Like people who are, it doesn't matter if you are a socialist, communist, liberal, anarchist, whatever. We live in the same economy, like system, and the world is capitalistic. So even North Korea is capitalist because every country is that, but because it's a capitalist market. But yeah, his glasses are expensive. Like I thought, is it normally not his jobs to suck off rich people?
Mm-hmm.
But
Wait. Below is the U.S. Department of State's Cuba prohibited accommodations list.
there is a list.
A list of properties in Cuba at which the Cuban assets control regulations generally prohibit persons subject to U.S. jurisdiction from lodging, paying for lodging, or making any reservation for or on behalf of a third party to lodge. If you're a U.S. citizen, you cannot even book a room for someone else.
Yeah, and the thing is, where is
This
freedom?
is, by the way, this is a state.gov website. So anyone who wants to look it up, you can freely look it
It
up.
looks like fake news, but I
Yeah.
thought America has freedom. Capitalism is the freedom to spend your money how do you want to spend it. Like we will buy some Cuban cigars who are illegal in
Yeah.
America, but I thought America's freedom like this. Like don't look like that. But it was all the video, and then they have a discussion,
Okay.
air quotes.
Fuck them. That's so dumb.
But that's good that can you?
But anyone who wants the list, we could actually show it.
Yeah, you see, just one Google search and you can debunk them. And thank you for Fox News that they talked about that, because we could make 10 videos about
Wait,
it.
this list is actually all of the hotels that that US citizens cannot use.
Wow, that's a long list.
These are all prohibited.
Yeah.
Holy.
Like so many hotels.
I thought these were the ones that are allowed.
Not just a few hotels they can stay, and then
Yeah.
they make the argument, oh, he was in a 5-star hotel. Like,
Just look, below is the U.S. Department of State's Cuba prohibited accommodations list, a list of properties in Cuba at which the Cuban assets control regulations generally prohibit persons subject to U.S. jurisdiction from lodging, paying for lodging, or making any reservation for or on behalf of a third party to lodge. The properties are also controlled by the Cuban government, the prohibited official of the government of Cuba, as defined in whatever the fuck this is, a prohibited member of the Cuban Communist Party, a close relative,
association by guilt, huh? Like guilt by association.
official of the government of Cuba, or a close relative of a prohibited member of the Cuban Communist Party.
Yeah.
That's insane. And look how long this fucking list is.
Yeah.
These are all hotels that US citizens legally cannot use when they go to Cuba.
The thing is why I don't want it to show that, because it's a long list.
It is.
And the second thing is, their argument is so bad.
It is bad.
So stupid that, there's a multi-billion-dollar company, news or entertaining.
They're entertainment. You cannot call them news, even though it says Fox News right there.
But I am not feeling entertained right now.
Yeah.
I cringed. The thing is, the argument is so bad that I don't have to address it, because it's like a Nick Shirley video.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the same standard.
The thing is with this argument, I see why, because people would be like, okay, my country is not going to restrict what I do in other countries, and that would be, a very normal thought. Because if I'm in another country, what the fuck does my country care?
And second,
what I do over there.
I thought capitalism, you can spend your money how you want, like freedom, baby.
No, but I guess not. The land of the free is like, when you're in this country, you're actually not free.
And you can bring Cuban cigars, and in the next episode we will smoke some Cuban cigars.
Yes.
To show our freedom, like we will smoke it, then we get lung cancer, then we get treatment, and we don't have medical debt like flex. And the number here is not high like in America.
And while getting chemotherapy, I'll be
Yeah,
smoking cigars.
Yeah, like a vlog, like come with me to the chemotherapy, and I paid nothing for it. But yeah, support Cuba.
Yes.
Go to Cuba. Try to help the people because it's unsufferable. And I don't know if I say that, but Russia sent a ship with oil.
Yes,
and
Russia sent an oil tanker
and
that
they let it
got
through.
Yeah. Also, to one of the earlier things that they said, where Greg Gutfeld,
Yeah,
Gutfeld, yeah, I guess, where he was like, "Oh, they're saying free Palestine in Cuba," and then he does the whole whataboutism bullshit. Cuba's population has been on the side of Palestine for very long. They understand.
Because they can see the connections.
Yes.
Like everything is connected. We say it all the time. Everything is connected. It's not like foreign policy and then domestic policies. Everything is connected.
Yes.
And now I see what happened will happen. The people will get more educated on that, and then we will have a 90-10 issue that the sanctions are inhumane and they have to remove it.
Yeah.
One person who did that, one president was Obama, and he got heavily criticized from the Republicans. But
Of course.
now Trump is then Sky News also talked about it.
Oh boy.
Like you are 1 million miles away from Cuba and the rest of the world, okay, and they think they have to talk about it. So shit, they're far away. That's the reason why it's not loading.
No, it should work right.
Now, more on the communist convoy to Cuba featuring pampered Western.
A communist convoy. Bro, this is so bad.
Commies, including Hasan Pikers, who has been accused
I
of
love
Western
I love the Australian accent, how they say Hassan.
commies, including Hasan Pikers.
Hasan Piker.
Who has been accused of throwing
cunt.
food at Cuban children. The goal of this whole exercise
He's
is to
been
embarrass
Accused of throwing food at
Cuban children. The goal of this whole exercise is to embarrass the American government, the Trump administration, blaming them for Cuba's many issues. But the Cubans themselves are fighting back against this narrative, including this gentleman who had this message for the leftists.
You rather see people keep suffering because why? So Donald Trump doesn't get the credit.
On diaspora
fuck is this?
Cuban American truck driver, he knows he hits you with the fact now. In his semi truck.
Brother, you're black. What the fuck are you saying?
But yeah, there are Afro-Cubans also there.
Yes,
They
but
came
like,
as slaves from Africa.
yeah, I know, but like, what? I don't understand
He talks for the diaspora Cubans, who are the most, like one of the most insane diasporas, like second to none to the Iranians. And somebody helps his country, and he has to like.
And he's like, how dare they?
Yeah, message to the code pink liberals in Cuba.
Damn it.
I thought they are
It's not
communists.
about Donald Trump. It's about somebody standing up finally and standing up to a communist regime, a dictatorship.
Kosher, he also
Brother,
Standing up to a communist regime.
if you lived in communism, brother, they would have
It's not
replaced
about
your
Donald Trump.
tooth,
It's
bro.
about somebody standing up
Like,
finally.
come on, man. What are you doing? You're okay, you're Cuban diaspora. I get it. Okay. But you're also black. You live in the US. How can you be on the side of one of the most racist administrations that have, like, if slavery is still allowed in the US, like if slavery was still allowed as it used to back in the 18th 19th century, brother, all of the administrations would have slaves.
Yeah.
Every single politician in there would have slaves, and you're out here yapping, being like, oh, they're so bad. The people who go to another country to actually help them, they are the bad ones. Why? because I don't know what communism is.
And I don't like the regime, and my parents told me things, and
Yeah, my parents told me to hate them.
yeah, and he's like, I know black, I'm Dominican puppy.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
man.
Dominican.
Standing up to a communist regime, a dictatorship.
Kosha, he also said the power grid has been cactus for 40 years in Cuba. Decades of communist rule have completely devastated the country, and he's still got family in Cuba, and obviously he wants
What kind of government did Cuba have before they were communist?
Dictatorship.
Wasn't it a right-wing dictatorship?
Respect, yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't it Batista?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mob ruled Cuba. The American mob.
I wonder why their infrastructure is so bad, and I wonder why after they changed governments, why they just couldn't build their infrastructure up. I wonder why.
Communism is when bad infrastructure. Like
Exactly.
they drop in new theories here.
Yeah.
Normally no phone, but the people have phone now. It's when no infrastructure.
to see it free. I'm just shocked that these socialists, Western socialists, aren't paying any attention. They're not reading
I also love that move. Look,
socialists.
she's like, she pauses.
Yeah, he wants to see it free. I'm just shocked that these socialists,
That these socialists.
Yeah, she nuked
Western
too early.
socialists, aren't paying any attention. They're not reading the room at all about what Cubans want. The fact that more than 1 million
Which Cubans? The Miami crazy Cubans or
actors for 40 years in Cuba, decades of communist rule have completely devastated the country, and he's still got family in Cuba, and obviously he wants to see it free. I'm just shocked at these.
like, please starve my family, Mr. President. I love you, Mr. President.
Socialists, Western socialists, aren't paying any attention. They're not reading the room at all about what Cubans want. The fact that more than 1 million of them have fled the country because they don't want to live under a communist dictatorship.
And they are
No, most have fled because it's hard to work.
Yeah,
It's
hard.
there is a lot more potential outside of the country because of the sanctions.
Yeah, and they say always communism. They call everything communism.
Yeah.
Why they don't say, oh look, China communism is very bad? Like they're outperforming everything.
China is better than in everything than the US or Australia. But of course, China evil, China bad. US and Australia not evil.
Yeah.
England not evil, good. France good, Germany good. But China bad.
Yeah, and Cuba. They
Cuba.
did
China and
nothing. They
Cuba
would
bad,
sell you
yeah.
the things if you told them. But let them finish.
always reliably center-right, always. People who fled Eastern Europe, people who fled Cuba understand what the logical endpoint is of this sliding scale of having more and more authoritarian government, sliding into that. Cuba is a poster child of what that can do, 40 years of pure communist regime. They also relied a lot on external allies like Russia for oil, Iran, Venezuela. That's drying up for all the reasons we know, which is
Literally everyone is relying on external allies for everything.
Soviet Union, yeah.
Like, what do you mean? The US in itself, if the US did not have external allies or basically vassal states, the US would not be able to do anything either.
You see it in Iran how good they are.
Yeah, like,
but it's like we want to.
From the resources part. Okay, the US is big.
Yeah,
it's a huge country and they have lots of resources. That's okay. But even with their own resources, with the way they're doing it right now, and they want to do it right now, there would be no way that the US could sustain itself. And there is no country on this planet that wants to sustain itself, except for, what was it, Nepal, I think?
North Korea.
Well, I mean, yeah, they're a bit forced.
But yeah,
not even they, though. They do
trade with China,
with China, Russia,
yeah,
and maybe some other countries. But there is one country on this planet that actually, it's not a big country, and it's in the Himalayas.
Yeah,
one of the countries there.
Yeah,
they still have a monarchy, I believe.
Yeah, like Australia.
exacerbating that problem, and then the U.S. embargo. So it seems like Cuba is going to fall, quote unquote, and then we will see what the Trump agenda does or how they handle that, because that is part of their strategy of hemispheric stability.
That would be a triumph if Cuba falls, the communist dictatorship falls without a shot being fired. That would be something to celebrate. Kosher Gator, thank you so much for your time.
Then Trump also has an opinion about it, and what his opinion is, this was 2 weeks ago.
Oh boy, what?
Yeah.
About the United States and Cuba. When will the United States do it? I do believe I'll be having the honor of taking Cuba.
Sir, Cuba is not a 13-year-old girl.
That'd be good. That's a big honor.
Taking Cuba.
Taking Cuba in some form, yeah. Taking Cuba. I mean, whether I free it, take it, I think I could do anything I want with it. You want to know the truth? They're a very weakened nation right now.
He also talks about women like that.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. The propaganda was about, you could just deny the sanctions, but Trump is so heavy-handed with everything what this does. Like in 1 year we will have it would be a 90-10 issue, like pro-Cuba and against America.
Yeah. It's very. He is making it easy for people to hate the U.S. Not gonna lie.
Yeah,
he's making it.
He's
very
like
easy.
George Bush.
Yeah,
even worse than him. And that's the thing. It's so much clearer now than it was 20-25 years ago.
Yeah.
And the war is not popular. Like Iran war is not popular. Cuba is not popular. And they are like, oh, we should talk about Hasan Piker.